How is everyone doing? It's been way too long, way too long. So, I have been taking this acting thing and this stunt thing so seriously. And I've actually been busy taking some acting workshops and acting classes, stunt classes, boxing, taekwondo. So, first things first, I just want to encourage you to go take a look at my stunt video. The last one that I posted, that is actually my choreography. So I'm really proud of it. I just wanted to give you that quick update. And some of the extra roles you can see me in, Bastards, Pitch Perfect 3, Acrimony with Tyler Perry, and Rampage with The Rock. So I've gotten a couple of speaking roles, but I can't talk about it yet. So hopefully you can see me in those things. But anyway, all right, let's get right into the video. Commuting. I did do another video about commuting, but that was mostly about packing. I just wanted to talk to you about commuting in general today and just tell you that it's doable. I had a friend recently who made it all the way through the application process, got offered a job, and then she made it to like the first couple days of training. She found out her base information and she was so disappointed because she did not get based in her hometown. So she quit. And I was like, girl, what? Oh my God. Like, don't do that. It's commuting is doable. And so I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to do that. Now, first thing that you need to know is that bases and airlines are so different. They're just like states and other locations in that the flying is different. You know, you might have one base that does mostly day trips. You have another base that does mostly 3 day and 4 day trips. One base might do more domestic, another base might have more international flying. So it just depends on what you want and what you're looking for out of your flying experience. The first thing is that learn how to bid and learn how to swap and drop with the company and also other flight attendants, because what you can do is get trips that are commutable. That's one way to help you. When I say commutable, what I mean is the first flight of the first day leaves late. So in that case, say for example, if the first day my first flight leaves at 5 p.m., I'll just fly up that morning. Like, you don't have to fly up the day before. Well, to the supervisors, they're gonna tell you to fly up the day before. But honestly, if my flight leaves that late, I'm just gonna fly up that morning. Okay, and what it means if it's commutable on the back end of the trip, what that means is that it comes in early enough to where you can still get a flight to go home on the last day. Now, most of the time trips are commutable on one end, sometimes they're commutable on both. But the more trips you get that are commutable, also what you want to do is pack your work together. Like, get 3 days, get 4 day trips, 5 day trips, instead of doing a lot of day trips. Because if you get a lot of day trips, what happens? You got to get a hotel every night. So day trips are typically for people that live in base. All right. What you want to find out first is if your airline has what's called a commuter policy. And a commuter policy is just, it's extra protection. Now, I've been flying for several years and I've never had to use it, but I have heard of people having to use it around the holidays, mostly Christmas or like Thanksgiving is when you would use that. And what that means is that you've listed yourself for the flight and you showed up in person, but you just keep getting bumped off the flight because the flights are full. Typically, with most airlines do have a commuter policy, first of all, and usually what it entails is that you've listed yourself for 3 flights, like either 2 or 3, and you either listed yourself on your same airline that you fly for, or you listed yourself on other airlines. Now you get to work 2 ways. You either ride in a passenger seat when a paying passenger has not showed up, so there's an empty seat and you're just flying standby, or you fly on a jump seat. Now, usually you cannot ride the jump seat on another airline. You ride the jump seat on your current airline that you work for, because you are qualified to work that jump seat and you've gone through the training. So that's when you're allowed to ride the jump seat. And what you want to do is find out how to list yourself. At my current airline, we can list ourselves online. So I'm just very careful to do it. Say, for example, if you list yourself 5 days prior to departure, then you just want to make sure you're there on that fifth day online to list yourself, and just be quick about it. Just remind yourself to do it. At my last airline, it was first come, first serve. So, if, for example, that flight leaves at 2 o'clock, you want to be there at least at 1. Remember, in the airline business, on time is late. Early is on time. You always want to be early, because unforeseen things happen all the time, whether it's traffic or anything else. Now, if you get good at your schedule, a lot of times, I'll tell you, last month I didn't spend anything in hotels or crash pads. If you get trips that are commutable. If you don't get trips that are commutable, what you have to do is fly up to base the day before. And in that case, you have to either get a hotel or a crash pad. Personally, I prefer hotels, because you're in the room by yourself. The room is cleaned after, each night. Somebody cleans it for you. And you have complimentary breakfast sometimes. And it's just nice. And then, also you have the hotel shuttle, so you don't have to worry about transportation. If you do a crash pad, you're sharing the room typically with other people, either on the same day or they're there on different days. You have to clean it up yourself typically. You don't have anybody cleaning up for you. You also have to worry about your own transportation. So you're either getting a taxi or an Uber, or you're driving to base and using your own car, and you're having your car at base. Now, you can get this information typically either online or on your own, or you can go to your company website and look up commuter policy, look up commuter hotels and crash pads. You can ask your FSM or your supervisor for that information, or you can just talk to other flight attendants. It's really a good idea, and I want to encourage you, especially when you go through training, get lots of phone numbers, do lots of networking, and make lots of friends, because sometimes you can share hotels. You can say, hey, who's going to be in town on this weekend? Who has to work a flight? Do you want to share a hotel room with me? You do things like that. Flight attendants do that all the time. We work together. So let's see. I already talked to you about packing and whatnot. I guess if you have any questions, leave them for me. I'll be back with more videos very soon. And don't forget to check out my other stunt video with my own choreography. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.